The Jacksonville Jaguars have the worst record in the NFL so far this year at 0-4. So clearly they need some help. So today, we are going to try to save this Jaguars team that honestly, on paper, despite being a little older, isn't that bad at all. And by the end of this rebuild, we are going to see if we can turn this into the best roster in the league. And out of any of the saving the team rebuilds I've done so far, this could be one of the quickest. And speaking of quickest, I want to get into this because this should be a ton of fun. So be sure to leave a like on the video. It sounds stupid, but it really does help out the channel. And let's see, we got to 1,000 likes on the last one of these I did. So let's see if we can get to 1,500. And if we can hit that goal, it'll let me know y'all want to see another saving the team rebuild. So also go down in the comments and let me know what team I should rebuild next Monday. Obviously a struggling team other than the Jags, Panthers, Giants, and Bengals because I've already done them. Oh yeah, and massive shout out to Jags for the suggestion of this video. But yeah, if I use your suggestion, I'll give you a shout out. But without further ado, let's get into this rebuild. But I mean, what is there to say about this Jags team necessarily? They definitely shouldn't be 0-4 with this much roster talent, I'll say that. I definitely think Doug Peterson and Nick Sirianni are fighting for the title of worst head coach in the league. But for this first year, we're just gonna see how this team does, and we could trade somebody at the midseason. I don't normally like doing that year one in rebuilds, but I mean, unless we're like 3-4 at the midseason, there's at least one player I'm thinking about trading. So let's get to the midseason and we will see how this team does. Okay, we had a position battle and Mac Jones won the battle. I mean, I'm not gonna start him. I don't know why we had a quarterback position battle though. There are like 10 other positions where that makes sense, but why quarterback? Why not tackle or like anything else? And ask and you shall receive. We are 3-4 at the midseason. We've won the last 3 games. I obviously force lost. Is that what you call it? Yeah, I force lost the first 4, and then we won the last 3, which I guess you never know. That could happen. I mean, probably won't, but I guess it could. So hey, I mean, I don't think we're gonna trade anyone here. I was thinking about trading Christian Kirk because I've seen some trade rumors about him. But I mean, if we're 3-0 in the last 3 games, the only 3 simulated games, then why would we trade someone away? I mean, if anything, we could trade for a player. I just don't think that's realistic. That's the only problem. I think this is just a Madden simulation moment. I mean, it would obviously be very hard for the Jaguars to be 3-4 at the midseason. It is possible, but I don't really think they're gonna be trading for a player at the midseason, so we're not going to do that. But we do have some re-signings to worry about. I know they already extended Tyson Campbell, so I'll have to give him that deal. But Andre Cisco, Cam Robinson, Brandon Sheriff, who's definitely regressing a little bit in real life, and he's 32. He's going to regress more here. We'll see. I did set interior O-line as our focus position for the draft, so that's probably something we'll do there. And then everyone else is just some depth players I signed and just depth players in general. But thankfully, these 3 are interested. We'll re-sign Andre Cisco. We'll go 3 years, 15 mil. That's pretty cheap, but he takes it. Cam Robinson, 2 years, 21. Again, I feel like he's going to get more than this in real life. The only problem is he is not great in Madden, at least most of the time. There have been times where he's been good, but there have been times where he's been... I think I moved him to guard one time. I signed him as a guard, and he allowed literally 20 sacks, I think it was, which is the first time I've ever seen that at guard. So we'll re-sign him because the Jags probably will, but a little reluctantly. And then that's all we'll worry about for now. I'll get Tyson Campbell's deal set up. But hey, we genuinely could be a playoff team this year. I guess looking at the schedule, there is a chance that the Jags do go 3-4. I think the Colts game is the hardest out of these 3, but these should be winnable games. Although, I don't know, they lost to the Browns, so who knows. But all right, let's get to the end of the year and we'll see how we finish. All right, of course, we finish with probably the worst record you could finish with. We go 9-8. Just outside of the playoffs and just good enough to not have a good draft pick. Great. But let's see what happened this year. We'll see what went right, see what went wrong. Trevor Lawrence, definitely better than he's doing in real life. 3,600 yards, 35 touchdowns, and only 8 picks. Nice completion percentage. Only sacked 17 times, too. But Travis Etienne, 1,275 yards. I guess 1 yard away from that. 4.4 per carry, 12 touchdowns. Christian Kirk, almost 1,200 yards. About 950 for Brian Thomas. Thomas, 14 touchdowns. Can't wait for him to get number 2 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Gabe Davis and Evan Ingram were all right, but blocking, I forgot to put, I guess it worked out, especially because Anton Harrison hasn't been particularly great this year, but I forgot to start him over Walker Little, but hey, it worked out. Also, Cam Robinson was amazing, so maybe I was worried for nothing, but we'll see as the years go on. And then on defense, I see some interesting stuff. Devin Lloyd, 113 tackles led the team. TFL's 12 for Walker, 11 for Armstead and Smith, and sacks. 5.5 for Eric Armstead led the team. 4.5 for Josh Hines Allen. Are we already feeling a defensive playbook change? I don't know if I want to deal with this. I love my 94 overall number 2 right end in the league getting 4.5 sacks. Thank you, Madden. Thanks, EA. But Trayvon Walker with 4 sacks, 4 for Chad Muma. Okay. And then interceptions, 4 for Devin Lloyd, 2 for Muma, Johnson, and Campbell, and then 1 for a couple players. But of course, Josh Allen wins MVP. Actually, I don't know why I said of course. I was thinking the Jags were in the same division as the Bills for a second. I don't know, whatever. Trevor Lawrence at number 8. But of course, I called it. Malachi Corley wins Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Jets. No face for some reason, but Brian Thomas Jr. at number 2, of course. Mason Smith at 8 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, hopefully Brian Thomas can still get a dev trait, but that would have been so nice. But all right, I'm glad we're not in the playoffs because I don't think an 0-4 team is making the playoffs, believe it or not. Only in Madden. Actually, has an 0-4 team ever made the playoffs? Let me see. I'm sure it's happened before. Apparently, the 1992 San Diego Chargers started 0-4 to make the playoffs, but the Jags would only be the second ever, apparently. So, seems pretty unlikely. Has only happened once 32 years ago. So I'm glad we didn't make them. But for 5th-year options, we're obviously going to pick up Devin Lloyd's, and we'll pick up Trayvon Walker's. I will not be sharing my opinion on Trayvon Walker because I know there are lots of Jags fans watching. And Brandon Sheriff was a monster. Would he allow 1 sack? Yeah, 1 sack. So the only issue is we're broke. But let's see. I guess we just re-signed Tyson Campbell, so let's restructure his deal. That'll free up 9 mil. So now we should be able to bring back Brandon Sheriff. I'll even go player friendly just in case. I'll only do 1 year, but he does take it. But everyone else, I think we're gonna let go. We don't really have actually, Walker Little was pretty good. I don't know if I trust him to be good again, but I think we gotta bring him back. All right, let's restructure another deal. Who can we restructure? Is this team's cap situation actually this bad? Okay, we freed up a little bit. So Walker Little will go, I guess, 2 years, 12 mil. All right, never mind. Guess not, but let's get into free agency. I think the only thing I'm gonna do is try to bring Walker Little back because we have no money. What am I gonna do? It's a pretty horrible class as always too. But all right, we do get, I keep wanting to call him Trayvon Walker. Walker Little back. And let's get to the draft where I don't really know what I want to do because obviously our O-line was arguably our strongest position, and that's, like I said, what I focus scouted for the draft. So it is still a future need on paper, but for right now, I mean, we'll just leave this group until it proves that it isn't good, which is inevitably going to happen, but for now, it would probably be best to just leave it. But we pick at number 18, and we could trade down here, actually. Depends on who's available, but I didn't really see anyone I liked all that much. There's Clint Ryans, who looks decent. I focus scouted him, Brian Moss, and Marcus Hewitt, but none of them are that good. Sean Charles looks decent, but like, at least on paper, we don't need an edge rusher, but the duo of Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker combined for what, 8.5 sacks last year, so maybe we do need one. We could also go with a corner. That's probably what I'm leaning towards. Ooh. Taking 20-year-old prospects in Madden is almost guaranteeing a good player eventually. At least a good overall player, so, Aaron Williams, I don't think he's going to be the best overall. I think the best overall corner is probably going to be like Tompkins maybe, or Justin Leonard, but we do kind of need a corner. So this might not be a great pick day one at least, but we are obviously taking him with the goal of easily developing him. So Aaron Williams out of LSU. The Jags love their LSU players. So how many did they draft this year in real life? They picked at least 3, right? Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr., Mason Smith, Jordan Jefferson. So we're keeping up the tradition. We'll take him. Not great. Honestly, even worse than I expected, but he does have the hidden dev. So, like I said, not a great pick now. I was thinking he would be more like ranked 40, though. I guess 54 isn't that far off, but we'll still take it. Now, let's see. We could go with a lineman here. We're really not making that many immediate upgrades, but to be fair, this is actually a pretty good team on paper, like I said. This is not the best interior O-line class, but there are still some good ones. Grant Rose. We could probably even wait to take him, but he'll be worth it here. First to second round talent. This draft class is going to look horrible on paper, but just trust the process. We'll take him here. Ranked 50, got him at 50. Could be hopefully an eventual starter. Probably for Brandon Sheriff, but we'll see. And then, I mean, what else do we even need? We kind of need an edge rusher, but not that bad. It would be hard for anyone we take here to even get any playing time. Addison Murphy is A power moves, A tackle. Obviously, Brian Moss is one of the players I focus scouted. I don't know who's better out of the two. There are still some really good-looking corners, too. It would be such an unnecessary pick, but Justin Leonard looks pretty good. Yeah, you know what? Actually, oh, Marcus Joseph, hold on. He ran a 4.31 and a 4.26 at his pro day. He has great speed, but only solid acceleration. All right, again, weird draft, but we'll go with Justin Leonard here. Ranked number 8, picked him at 66. Sounds good. That makes up, flip this guy, flip Justin Leonard in your mind for the first corner we took. That'll make this class look a little better on paper. And I mean, if this plays out the way I want it to, all these players could be monsters by the end of this rebuild. But all right, I'm actually going to show one more pick because there are still some decent players left. Maybe. Juwan Weathersby's interesting. He has, he has great strength. He has a few A ratings. He's also 356 pounds. I'm between him, Addison Murphy. He has poor strength, but he does have elite agility. A power moves, A tackle, B pursuit, but the block shedding. We still might take him because we're desperate for edge depth, but we also could go with one of these guards. Pat Mahoney, okay. Jeff Kelly or Reed Goldsberry. All second to third round talents. I think I'm just going to take a chance on Murphy because we do need edge depth. We have a line depth. I don't think Murphy's great, but there's a chance. There's a world. Ranked 110, got him at 82. He does have hidden dev. Okay, that's what I was hoping for. So we'll take that. His head looks way too big for his body. That was weird. Okay, this might have been a horrible draft class. Not necessarily because of what we did, because, I mean, we ended up getting some pretty great picks towards the end, but Justin Leonard was the number 8 player in the class, and he was only a 77 overall. Did I forget to put strong draft classes? No. Also, something I'm thinking about doing sometime is going normal for corners, because corner draft classes are way too strong if you use strong. I might use normal for the rest of the rebuild, but well, let me know if I should switch cornerbacks to normal, because there are just, I mean, this draft class is an example, I'll show you, but there are just way too many good ones. But Aaron Williams is fine. I was thinking he would be like a 76, or, well, no, I guess ranked 54 is about a 74. So I don't even know. I think we'll start him because he is only 20 and does have the hidden dev, but we got some good corners in this class. We are going to have like the deepest secondary of all time. So not the best pick technically, but he's good. Grant Rose was, I guess, technically a perfect pick. I mean, not perfect, because I guess I would be getting the number 1 player in the class, but ranked 50, got him at 50, 74 overall, sure. But Justin Leonard, of course, the number 8 player in the class, but only a 77 overall, and he is already 23, so I don't even think we're going to start him. I mean, we might. He might be our number 3 or something, but him being already 23 is kind of rough. But I mean, he is really good. Just, I thought he would be better. I thought he could be like an 80. And then Addison Murphy, he's a 72. At least he had hidden dev. But I actually ended up making every single pick in this draft. Jeff Kelly's a 73. Did I show me picking him? I don't think I did, but he also has hidden dev. I mean, I talked about taking him, but I went Murphy. Then I was also able to get Kelly. But Josh Dickerson is another corner we got. He was ranked 31, something like that. So he was a first round talent. I can't remember what number, but he was a first. I assumed he would have like poor speed or poor acceleration or something, because there are always late round corners in Madden that have like B-man, A-zone, and then they just have terrible speed, so they're not great. But he actually actually had good for both speed and acceleration. So he's a 75 overall, hidden dev. I also want to start him. I just don't know where. Like, I had to pick him. I knew he was going to be great, but like, I just don't know where we're going to play him. And then Ross Gray, our first player without a dev trait in this class, but 75 overall. He was ranked 37, I think. 86 catch in traffic, 93 excel, 92 agility. And then Evan Watson, probably his X factor because he's a blocking tight end. He had A awareness. And then even DeMarco Yates, only a 68, but he was ranked like 180 and we got him at like 218 or something. So I think this was just a horrible class, but honestly, other than the first 2 picks, which weren't even that bad, this was a great draft class. Okay, there was at least one really good player. Taj Adkins, 84 overall edge rusher. I mean, he was kind of out of our reach. He has 90 finesse moves as a rookie, 97 acceleration. I don't think I've ever seen that for a linebacker, for an edge rusher. This might be the best pass rusher I've ever seen. I've seen 84 overalls, but I don't think I've seen one with 97 excel, 90 finesse, 89 speed, 88 pursuit. He's not the best tackler in the world, but that's it. Where did he go? He didn't go 1, did he? No, he went at number 5, but the fall off was super quick. Other than Adkins, this might be the worst top 10 I've ever seen for a draft class. That's crazy. But we did well. Let's get into year 2. I'll get this roster rearranged. I'll figure out who we want to even start, but I'm feeling really good about the team. Can't wait to go 2-15 for no reason this year. But all right, we are an 83 overall heading into year 2. This team is looking really good. We really don't have many issues anymore. I mean, we could maybe use a better receiver. Like, I don't love Christian Kirk as the number 1, but I mean, I guess that's what the Jags have in real life. But I mean, overall, it's a good receiving core. Also, talk about a revamp for this secondary. I mean, it isn't a crazy good overall yet, but it should be really soon. Hopefully, at least one of these guys have superstar. Now that I said that, they're all 3 gonna have star, but we'll see. None of them really developed throughout the preseason, though, so maybe they don't. Maybe they do only have star. It also wouldn't shock me if the O-line just randomly plays worse this year, so hopefully that doesn't happen, but it is Madden, and that happens a lot. But we should technically be better than last year, easily. I think we all know how this is gonna go, but we should be better. And we're also just really looking towards the future, obviously. But all right, let's get into the season. Let's get to the mid-season point, and hopefully we aren't worse than last year, but again, it is Madden after all. Okay, never mind. We are thankfully better at the mid-season this year. We're 4-3. This year, our offense isn't that great, and our pass D is terrible, but other than that, we're good. I mean, really, our run game on offense is good, but our passing, we're bad passing on both sides of the ball. Bad with passing and bad against the pass. Okay, I was gonna say, I think I have a theory for why we're not great for passing on offense, but we've only allowed 8 sacks, so I don't know. It's not too bad. Oh, and Josh Hines-Allen has 9 sacks already. Okay, we're doing better there. What's the issue then? I mean, we're good. We're 4-3, but I don't know what's holding back our passing game. I don't know, maybe because we have a ton of rookies. I could do it, but we, of course, have some interesting re-signings this year. We have Travis Etienne, who isn't interested at all, unfortunately. I mean, we're going to try to get him back, obviously, but that's tough. Christian Kirk, which he's almost 30. I mean, well, he's 28, but that's close. He's going to start regressing soon. Evan Ingram is 30, but he is interested. And then that's mostly it, I think. Oh, no, Brandon Sheriff again. Mitch Morse. But all right, we'll start with Travis Etienne. I'll try very player-friendly because that's what he's going to want. That's a long deal, but it isn't too expensive. 5 years, 58. He does take it. That's huge. But I don't know what I want to do about these two because both are going to regress. I don't want to give Evan Ingram a 3-year deal at 30 years old. What I might do is, God, players never take shorter deals than they're originally asking for. Like, there's no way he would take this, right? I mean, now that I'm saying he won't take it, he's going to take it. He does, of course. 2 years, 24, or whatever that was, that's fine. But we'll wait till the end of the year for the rest of these, especially because we have almost no money left. But let's get to the end of the year and we will see how we finish. Hopefully we're good because we don't deserve to be great yet, but we should make the playoffs. We'll see. We'll probably finish 8-9 or 9-8, but we'll see. Okay, never mind. We finish 11-6 in year number 2. That's about the best outcome possible. Oh, whoa. I know I've said this a million times, but there are always way too many 9-8 teams in Madden. I think it just comes down to how bad the simulation is, and how much other teams just randomly beat other teams, so it makes every team kind of mid. But there are 6, 9, and 8 teams in the playoffs here. 6. Was there any, like, good or bad team this year, or was everyone just 9 and 8? What am I trying to look at? Not the schedule. Standings. Okay, the Chiefs were good. Oh, there were some good teams. But, like, there were 9, 9, and 8 teams, with almost all of them making the playoffs. Nobody was worse than... Oh, actually, there was someone worse than 4 and 13. They just are invisible. The Titans went 4 and 13. Or not worse than 4 and 13. I meant worse than 5 and 12. So there just weren't a lot of horrible teams this year somehow. Everyone was just mid, like always. But Trevor Lawrence, very, very good year. 4,000 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 picks. 76 completion percentage. Is that the record? That might be. I think the record's like 74 for a full season or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but something like that. But Travis Etienne, 1,300 yards, 4.2 per carry. We'll take it. Just got a ton of carries, so he got a good amount of yards, but solid yards per carry. 11 touchdowns. Christian Kirk, 1,250 yards, 7 touchdowns. And Brian Thomas Jr., hopefully our future number 1. 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. Not much outside of those two, but Davis and Ingram were fine. And then blocking. I thought our offensive line was going to be like an unsolvable issue. I thought it was just gonna plague us for this entire rebuild. But this has been legitimately, I think, the best performing offensive line I've ever had in Madden. Only 16 sacks allowed for Trevor Lawrence. That's crazy. But Devin Lloyd, 107 tackles, TFLs, Armstead with 16, 14 for Hines Allen, and sacks. 14 for Hines Allen, both TFLs and sacks. But outside of him, 4.5 for Eric Armstead, only 2 for Trayvon Walker. I don't know about y'all, but I don't think 6 sacks in 2 years full-time starting is necessarily great. How did, oh, okay, Addison Murphy had 0. Well, it looks like he barely played. Well, he played 126 snaps, but no sacks. And then interceptions, 4 for Aaron Williams, and Tyson Campbell led the team. Is Aaron Williams gonna get number 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year? I might cry. I might. Antonio Johnson with 2, and then 1 for a few players. If we get cucked on Rookie of the Year awards back-to-back years, I'm not gonna be very happy. But Patrick Mahomes wins MVP, big surprise. Trevor Lawrence at number 5, but Trevor Lawrence at 10 for Offensive Player of the Year. I'm kind of surprised either ETN or Christian Kirk weren't up here. I guess Kirk didn't have that many touchdowns, but still. Also, Deion Jones is always up here for Defensive Player of the Year. Is it 2017? Like, he's always on a different team every time, too. But Josh Hines Allen at number 5, we'll take it. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Marco Starks for the Bengals. Watson at 7, the backup tight end. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, let's just rip off the Band-Aid. Oh, no, we do win it. Okay, that's huge. Aaron Williams does take it. Luke McCain for the Patriots at 2. I'm really surprised we won that. Year 2 for awards is, or for at least Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year, is really hard to win because that's the year where the most rookies are starting, I think. But we do take it. That's huge. Unless we randomly somehow don't win it, which happens in Madden. If it does, I'll just give him a dev trade anyways because that's stupid. But again, we are in the playoffs, finishing 11 and 6. We're only an 84 overall though, which really surprises me. I mean, this is a super young team outside of, I guess, a few players. Like, our line isn't very young, but I mean, the depth is. But Lawrence and Etienne, both still younger than 26. Brian Thomas Jr., like 23 or something. And especially on the defense, I mean, we have a few old-ish guys like Eric Armstead, Foye Oluokun, but everyone else pretty much is super young. But unfortunately, I see one of the reasons we didn't develop a lot. Both Williams and Leonard so far only have star dev. That's tough. Dickerson, we don't know yet. He actually could have superstar. He developed a pretty good amount. No way we go 3 for 3 on star devs for corners. That would suck. I mean, they still should be good players, and Williams will get superstar one way or another, so that's good at least, but still. We'll see. Dickerson could have X factor for all we know. But again, we're going to be taking on the Bills in the wild card. Nothing really else to check, so let's just simulate this game out, and can we get our first playoff win of the rebuild? No. What was the score? Would be nice if it told me. Okay, guess we'll never know. No, I'll check. What was it? 35-28. At least it was close, but it looks like our defense kind of sold us. Our offense put up a good amount of points, but theirs put up more. I guess that's the most basic way you can explain a loss. I don't know. But oh well, it's only year 2, so let's get into the offseason once again. And What do we even upgrade? I guess we'll see. Also, we've had some interesting Super Bowls so far. Year 1, we had the 49ers destroy the Chiefs 34-10. This year, we had the Steelers and the Cowboys in a low-scoring game with the Steelers winning it. But of course, we still have some players to re-sign. Somehow, Christian Kirk didn't get superstar dev. There are some things that I feel like should be automatic dev traits. Getting like 1,200 yards should automatically put you from star to superstar. Like, that just seems like, why is that not a thing? Now, superstar to X Factor is a different story, but like, at least star to superstar. But let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the 5th year for Anton Harrison. He hasn't been great in real life so far. He was solid towards the end of last year. He was pretty good, but we just don't play him here. Like, Walker Little's been good. I don't know. I like Walker Little, but he's been a monster here. Genuinely one of the best performing right tackles I've ever seen in this game. But Brandon Sheriff, I definitely want back. I think we're gonna let Mitch Morse go. I don't know if that's the best idea, but he is 34. But once again, we do need to restructure some players. So I'll just, you know what? Should I just restructure everything this year, or is that a bad idea? I mean, why not? Okay, I guess that was about all we can do anyways. But we'll re-sign Brandon Sheriff, assuming he wants to. We'll go 1 year, 12.6. He takes it. And then Christian Kirk, I don't know. He's not that interested, and he's good, but he's gonna be 30. He's 29, and he isn't really developing despite playing well. I feel like, especially for receivers, you can really make almost anyone produce. Overall, doesn't really mean a whole lot. Plus, he'll be our number 2 now. It looks like Brian Thomas is an 84, passed him up, so we'll let Christian Kirk go. We might sign a different receiver. We also could just draft one, because we need something to draft this year. But let's get into free agency, and we'll see if there's anything we want to do. We should do something, because we haven't added anyone in free agency yet. I don't know what to do. Ooh, also, Williams obviously went up to superstar, but thankfully Dickerson does also have superstar, so those will be our 2 starters. I don't know what we're gonna do with Leonard. I guess he'll just be a number 4, but he'll be a really good number 4. Looked like he didn't do much anyways. No picks, only 4 pass deflections. But let's see if there's anyone good in free agency. Ooh, okay. A lot of older players, but Javon Holland, numbers-wise, he's really terrible. For some reason, only 1 pass deflection each of the last, or 1 pick each of the last 2 years. I guess 3 if you count real life. 1 pass deflection last year, 2 years ago. I guess he only had 4 in real life in 2023, but he had 10 in 2021 apparently. So definitely slowly getting worse and worse stats-wise. Is it worth signing him? I mean, on paper probably, but we don't need any more DBs. What we really need is like a great receiver, or honestly just a really high overall at some position, but I don't know if safety's the one, especially with how Holland's playing. We also could use a pass rusher with how horrible Trayvon Walker's been, but again, there just isn't. What do we want? Quiddy Pay? Probably not. So I want to do something here. It just doesn't make sense to sign anyone here. I guess we'll re-sign Cameron Dicker because I signed him last year, and Ryan Stonehouse, sure. So I've been boring in free agency, but trust the process. We get Dicker, and Stonehouse isn't signing, but he might eventually. It's a punter. Who cares? Let's get to the draft. But all right, we pick at number 23 in the draft because, of course, we made the playoffs and then lost immediately at home. I still don't want to trade up just because, again, there wasn't really anyone that great that I saw. I mean, we didn't really have many players scouted early on, but still. Of course, though. Oh, there is 1 pass rusher left. Kirk Page. Also, Everett Colin, I don't know. What's our scheme for edge rushers? It looks like speed rushers because, yeah, Walker's only a 74 on both sides. So I think we're gonna take Kirk Page. He has his issues. Only C block shed, C tackle, B to C pursuit. Like, looking at these ratings, C block shed, all that, he looks terrible, but I guess the elite speed, elite jumping, elite acceleration make up for it. And he has A awareness, B player act, A finesse moves. So I guess he's good. I wouldn't think he is, but apparently he is. So we'll take him. Ranked 34. Honestly, I thought he was gonna be like ranked 50 or something. So we'll take. Oh, there's the issue. He has normal dev. Okay, I figured there had to be something. Our first round picks have not been well, last year we had a plan, but that one wasn't great. But for the rest of the draft, I don't know what I want to do. David Gilmore looks really good. What's your strength? Good strength. We might have to take him. We don't need any more linemen, but like that's always my safe pick. If I want a pretty much guaranteed good player, I just go with interior lineman. Ooh, Gil Crane. What are these names? Gil Crane looks good too. Elite strength. strength and acceleration and changed. Okay, we might have to take him instead. Who's projected to go first? He's 91. Gil Crane is 101. I'll just take Crane, I think, because he looks better. Definitely has his issues, though, but, I mean, looks good. Oh, Elite strength is only a 92. Okay, well, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have taken him. Whatever. Let's just go with a guaranteed good player. Oscar Truman, first to second round talent. Sure. Ranked 28, our first round talent of the draft. Does have hidden dev. That's cool. I don't know. He's not going to play at all, but we'll take it. It's hard to find players that will start at this point. There's a top 5 projected pick still available. We do need a backup QB. Should we just take him? I mean, he looks honestly pretty good. I don't really see what the issue is. Just not the best break sack, I guess, but he looks good. Such a weird pick, but again, we need a backup QB, so why not? Okay, that's why not. He's not good, but well, ranked 108, got him at 19. Hidden dev, sure, why not? My drafting is something else today. I don't know what's wrong with me. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. We still haven't even gotten close to picking an 80 overall yet, but to be fair, has there been one available to us yet, at least at where we're picking? Because last year there was that super good edge rusher, but he went, what, number 5? I think there were a couple other 80 overalls, but I think they also went early. I don't know. These have been some interesting draft classes. Kirk Page, 76 overall, which is, he's pretty good. Just, of course, no dev trait, which sucks. What's he gonna be once we move him to defensive end? Okay, he does go down to a 75. I mean, he was the best option for us. Like, a speed rusher is what we needed. But we'll see how he does. We'll see how he plays. He'll start. Gil Crane is fine. I mean, that was a fine pick. He's a 74. I had a lot of hope for him, but he's just not great. I'm sure there was a better guard somewhere. I'm sure the other one I was looking at was better. But Oscar Truman is a good player, our 1 first-round talent from this class. Thankfully, hidden dev. Don't even know how much he'll play, but he's a good player. That's what matters. And then Thornton's a good backup QB. And then my last pick was Shaq Rogers. No dev trait, but he had A power moves and A tackle, I think it was. That was why I took him. He was a projected UDFA, so I guess I took him early, but he's fine. I don't know. I wish I took the rest of the picks, though, because I don't know what the CPU did. A 64, 65, and a 65. So that makes my picks look amazing. I don't know. Was this just another horrible class? I mean, there were good players early on, but oh, I should have taken Gilmore. Why did I do that? He's a 78. I knew it. I just was hoping our guy would have had like 97 strength and super amazing impact blocking. Like, I've taken guys that look almost identical to Crane, and they're like an 82 overall. Mostly because you never know if an A rating or an elite rating is going to be like a 97 or an 87. You never know. But either way, we got a starter or two, so we'll take it. Wait, I do want to see if there was a better edge rusher. Did we take the best speed rusher that was I mean, it would be hard not to. We kind of knew everyone that was there, how good they were. Okay, oh no, that was number 3 overall. I mean, hey, number 3 overall is a 77. He's the best. The guy we got was a 76, and we got him in the late first. I mean, no dev trait, but still. Number 2 overall, 76, so it makes me at least feel better about it. This guy's a defensive end. The guy we got's better than Everett Callan. I mean, Callan has a dev trait, but he's a power rusher, so we did what we could, man. I'm trying to learn and see what I could have done better, but like, there isn't a lot. That's just tough. Okay, well, here's something I could have done. I'm stupid. I forgot we needed a receiver. Now, I don't know if we could have gotten someone that would have immediately started, because, like, you know, Gray and Davis are fine, but that just completely didn't even cross my mind that we still needed a receiver. I mean, I'm sure we can find one. I wonder if there's a good one on the trade block or in free agency. No to free agency. How about the trade block? If not, I'll check again in week 4 of the preseason. Okay, not really a great one on the trade block either. Again, though, I'll check again at the end of the preseason. But all right, heading into year number 3, I honestly thought we would be a better overall by now. We're an 84, which is solid, but maybe the worst out of any of these teams I've rebuilt so far for the because they need it rebuilds. I mean, we just need a good free agent class. There just really hasn't been one that would help us much. But to be fair, other than receiver, again, I don't know what I would want in free agency. seat. We need an overall upgrade on the O-line, but it's playing so well that I don't want to replace him. And then an edge rusher, but there wasn't an edge rusher, so what can you really do? Maybe a defensive tackle this year because Armstead's probably going to regress, and maybe a safety if there's one who plays well, but I don't know. And I was going to trade for a receiver, but there just wasn't a good one on the trade block. It was the exact same ones that were available at the start of the preseason. I signed Sharpton out of free agency. He's solid. He's only 23, but we're definitely going to add a receiver this offseason, no matter what. So let's get to the midseason point, and we'll see how we do this year. We could be bad. We could be good. I have no idea. But okay, I guess we're just going to be 4-3 every year. We are once again 4-3 at the midseason. And this year we're kind of struggling with the same things as always. Our pass game is a little better on offense, but our pass D is still pretty terrible. I don't necessarily know what to do about that still, but we'll just see how it plays out for the rest of the year. But we have a DB breakout. Who is this going to be? Looking at our stats, it didn't look like anyone's been amazing other than Antonio Johnson. It could be him. Oh, Tyson Campbell. I always go easy goal just because the other ones are like insane. 3+ combined TFLs, forced fumbles, pass deflections, or sacks. I doubt it, but also why are interceptions not included? I don't know. Whatever. We'll see if he hits that. If not, I just won't show anything. If he does, I'll show it. And this year we have a few re-signings. Devin Lloyd, Antonio Johnson, Trayvon Walker, who we're probably not going to bring back. He's been pretty horrible for us. Gabe Davis, we'll see. It's crazy to me he's still as young as he is. I mentioned that in a recent rebuild too, because I don't know, maybe we signed him or something, but it seems like he's been around forever. But Ezra Cleveland, Cam Robinson again, Walker Little again, Eric Armstead, and Brandon Sheriff for the third time. So a lot of starters this year, but at least we finally have money, for now at least. But Devin Lloyd will go 4 years, 62 mil. He takes it. Antonio Johnson, I wish he was interested, but 6 years, 69 mil. It's way too long of a deal, but he doesn't even take it. All right. Gabe Davis, we'll see. We could get an upgrade at both the 2 and 3 receiver spots. We'll see, though. Ezra Cleveland will go 3 years, 46 mil. I mean, I guess we could replace him, but he's been playing well. Why replace him? Cam Robinson will go 2 years, 35. Doesn't take it, despite being very interested. Walker Little will go 3 years, 27. He takes it. We're running out of money quick. We'll re-sign Brandon Sheriff if he doesn't retire. 1 year, 11 mil. Or 1 year, 11 mil. Eric Armstead, we'll see. He's been pretty good, but he is 32. We'll figure out the rest of these at the end of the year. We'll still have quite a few to worry about, but we got the most important players back. So I'll see if we hit the breakout. If not, we'll just get to the end of the year, but we'll see how this team finishes. All right, we finish 7-10, and we miss the playoffs. Our first year with a losing record here, which is maybe fair because we're only an 86, but was there an update with Madden? Did I like miss something? I'm never like kept up to date with the game. I should be. Doesn't seem like overalls are as crazy here. We're still better than a lot of teams. This is definitely not the best team I've ever built, not even close, but I feel like we should have made the playoffs, or at least, you know, there are a lot of teams that we're better than. It looks like it's the same issues as always. Our pass game on offense and our pass D. Should we switch the defensive playbook? Maybe. But Trevor Lawrence, 3,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 picks, but this year, the O-line was a little worse. Still not horrible, but 29 sacks, that's more than the 16, 17 it's been allowing. Travis Etienne, 1,250 yards, 4.2 per carry, again, 13 touchdowns. 1 yard away from 1,200 yards, and 1 touchdown away from 10 for Brian Thomas. That's kind of annoying, but whatever. Ross Gray, 1 yard away from 900 yards, 3 touchdowns. A lot lower receiving yards this year. Ooh, and our tackle duo was horrible this year, just randomly. I knew it was going to happen eventually. I'm surprised it didn't happen last year, but our interior was good. Brandon Sheriff joins the all-castration team. I can't remember. Is he the one who's on here the most? I feel like especially in Madden 25, sack numbers have been even worse. I feel like we've had even less linemen allow 0 sacks. Like Laramie Tunsil allowed 22 sacks. 22. I guess he's a lower overall here, but he's still an 80. He's still ranked 20 for left tackles. That isn't 22 sacks bad. Let me see. In real life, last year he allowed 5, apparently. The year before, he allowed 1 in over 1,000 snaps. Yet here he allowed 22. I wish overall mattered. But either way, I'm glad Brandon Sheriff did well. 121 tackles for Devin Lloyd. He's he's really racking up tackle numbers. Oh, God. TFLs, 18 for Josh Hines-Allen, 17 for Mason Smith, 13 for Trayvon Walker. But sacks, only 7.5 for Josh Hines-Allen. We need him to play at least as well as he did last year here, but in real life, he had, what, 18, 17.5 sacks last year? I guess he's had recent years where he only got 7, 2 because he got hurt. But, like, he's never been 4.5 sacks bad in a full season. I mean, even his rookie year, he had 10. Like, it's just annoying. I don't know how to make him play well. Well, I'm gonna try something. But 6 sacks for Eric Armstead, 4.5 for Devin Lloyd, but 2 for Trayvon Walker, and 1 for Kirk Page as a rookie. I wish I would have remembered to start him. I mean, he played. I made him a starting rush end, but I forgot to make him the actual starting defensive end over Walker. He still played more than Walker, but maybe it was better that Walker played because Page only got 1 sack in 639 snaps, so that's tough. But interceptions, 5 for Devin Lloyd, 3 for Aaron Williams and Antonio Johnson, 2 for Tyson Campbell, and 1 for a couple players. So I doubt we're going to have much of anyone for any award other than Devin Lloyd, maybe. Travis Etienne at number 8 for Offensive Player of the Year. Devin Lloyd at 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. A lot of the time when we rebuild teams, I always bring this up, but it feels like it makes your division rivals play out of their minds and they win every award. But here that isn't really happening. Have we seen any? I guess we saw, well, I don't know if I even showed it, but Josh Downs was like 2 for Offensive Player of the Year in the first year, I think. But since then, nothing really. But no Jags up here for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Did we even have an offensive rookie? I think other than linemen, I think we only drafted defensive players, which is an interesting strategy. But Defensive Rookie of the Year, nobody at all. Okay, cool. Come on, make me feel better. Is there someone that won anything? ETN gets 2 for Best Running Back. Brandon Sheriff gets 2 for Best O-Lineman. It just made me feel worse, man. We get cucked for everything. Oh well. The one thing I am absolutely gonna do is change this defensive playbook, and if you've seen the channel before, you know what defensive playbook I'm going with. The one that actually makes your defense play as well as it should, at least sometimes. The Bills defense. I don't know about the one good defensive playbook, but it's the one that works for me out of any of them that I've tried. So we'll see how that goes. We have other issues than just our defense, but pass D is our biggest issue. But I think this could be the final offseason. I could do another. We'll see. It depends on how we do this upcoming year. What have these Super Bowls been, though? It's been like the most popular teams with the most hated fan bases. Oh, wait, it was just a straight up Super Bowl rematch. I didn't even remember that was... I knew it was the Steelers. I just forgot it was also the Cowboys. The Cowboys destroy the Steelers 42-21, complete opposite of last year. Last year it was a close game and low scoring. This year it was not a close game and very high scoring, and the other team won. That's something. But for the rest of our re-signings, we still have some pretty important ones. We'll pick up the 5th year for Brian Thomas Jr. That may or may not matter. We'll see. But Antonio Johnson, I'll go very player friendly. We'll go 6 years, 81 mil. He doesn't take it, really? We'll probably tag him. Gabe Davis, we might re-sign in free agency, but I probably want to upgrade there. Anton Harrison, I mean, with how our tackles played this year, I maybe should re-sign him. I mean, we have so many linemen, but whatever. We have money at this point. Better safe than sorry, I guess. But I guess we'll just go neutral again for Cam Robinson, but he wasn't worth this deal. He has been the last 2 years, but not this last year. Should we? Yeah, 2 years, 38. Why not? I mean, I don't want to try to find a new tackle. Even last year, I've seen much, much worse performances at tackle, so we're fine with that. Eric Armstead, he's been good as a pass rusher, but he's regressing, and he's not that interested, and he's 33. But we'll tag Antonio Johnson. We could even look for a new safety, at least a free safety, because Andre Sisco hasn't been that great, honestly. But all right, let's get into possibly the final free agent class, and we'll see. Also, did that say Aaron Rodgers was on the Titans? All right, sure. Okay, finally, I can't even say it's a great free agent class, because it's still like one really good player and then a bunch of really good players, but like not 90 pluses or anything. So let me see. I'm going to restructure everything I can once again, because like, why wouldn't I? This could be the final year. Hopefully is the final year. Hopefully we make the playoffs and do well. So let me see how much money we end up with. But okay, we are going to go for Kyle Hamilton. The only problem is he has 2 other big offers, being the Rams and Buccaneers. So we might as well try to get him, but I have some pretty horrible luck getting players when they have other big offers. Just usually doesn't go well, but we'll see. We could get him. We're also going to go for Vita Vea. I kind of wanted a Liam McNeil, but he's a little more expensive. We couldn't quite afford him, but I mean, Vita Vea is only 1 overall lower. He is older, but again, if this is the final year, that won't really matter. Now, if it isn't, that will matter, but we'll just see. It'd be huge if we can get both of these players. Hopefully, we can get at least one. Hopefully, at least Kyle Hamilton. I mean, if we get Hamilton, we're probably also getting Vea, but hopefully we can get both. Both do sign, and we do get both. That's huge. The only issue is we still need a receiver pretty bad, but there just wasn't a single good free agent receiver this whole time. At least not like super good. I don't even know if there was one above like an 83 this whole time. Maybe, but I don't remember. If there was, I probably would have signed him, so I don't know. But I do want to see, can we get Jordan Addison? He does already have offers. Oh, we can get a lead for him if we go very player friendly. I mean, why not? That would be pretty huge, actually. We do get him. Okay, this was like, I can't say best case scenario because I wish there were better players here, but these are the 3 players we would have wanted, other than maybe McNeil over Vea. But Vita Vea had, what, 16 sacks a couple years ago? That's never really been his game, clearly. I mean, he actually got 6 sacks in 2022, 5.5 in 23, but 9.5, 16 is a little different than, you know, 5.5, 6. Love the realism of this game. But all right, we're looking good. Let's get into, again, possibly the final draft. We're still not the craziest overall in the world, but this team seems a lot better than the overall would suggest. But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 10. We have a top 10 pick, which is better than we should have had, but at least we finally have a good draft pick. But I don't know what I want to do here. Ooh, there are some good receivers, but they're both projected to go, or no, there's only one top 5 talent. He's projected to go 1 pick before us. Do we trade up? I mean, how good does he look? He looks good, but this definitely isn't the best top 5 talent receiver I've ever seen. I mean, I'm assuming he has like 99 spec catch or something, but he only has D deep route, ran a 4.47. There are other receivers like Jamie Wiggins looks good. Now, hopefully he's available because he's projected to go at 10. Usually if there are good players, they go early. Let's just see. Should I just sim straight to our pick? Back to back left tackles off the board. No receivers yet. There goes Sapp and Winters and Wiggins. Oh no. The only one left is Flowers, and he's gonna go 1 pick before us, isn't he? Well, I might trade up then. Do the Seahawks need a receiver at all? Oh, they do. No. Well, they don't really need one. We need one a lot more than them. But it doesn't even show up as one of our top needs, really? Do we just suck? Like, why is receiver listed as one of their top needs? They have way bigger needs than that. Let's see. We'll trade up. I don't want to give them up too much because it's only 1 spot, but all right, we didn't have to give up that much. We gave them a 4th to move up to 9. So we are gonna take, I guess, Connor Flowers. Now, I haven't even looked at him. I'm just gonna take him because he's a 1st-round talent. He looks good. He at least has a couple A ratings. Only C catch in traffic, though. Not very fast, but he at least has good change of direction, elite change of direction. I would assume normal dev, unfortunately, but we'll take him. Ranked 15, got him at 9. That's about what I expected. I thought around 20, but oh, he does have hidden dev. Okay, that's huge. That's necessary. He'll be our number 3, but he is a good number 3. Probably like a 77 overall, hopefully. But round 2 is where this gets interesting. I don't know what else to do. We do actually have a few needs, but I don't know who's going to be available at those positions of need. We need another edge rusher for sure, but there just isn't one left at this point. We might work out a trade at the start of next year, which normally I don't like to trade away picks that we're not going to use. Like, the goal is for this to be the last year, so the plan is to not use, or the plan is that we're not going to use our next year's picks because we won't get to that point, but we might end up getting to that point, so I would feel fine with trading them away for an edge rusher or something because we need one, and there isn't one here that looks very good. Carson Cummings, funny name, but he's a power rusher. He looks good-ish. I don't know, I feel like I see so many players that look like him and they're always disappointing, but I think we'll go with Luis Ruiz. Honestly, on paper, he just looks okay, but he's a 1st to 2nd round talent. He's 6'7". I was maybe planning on moving him into guard if we need to, but I don't know about that at 6'7". We have depth at tackle. It's just after last year, I don't trust him, at least the starters, but we'll take Ruiz. He's okay. God, I've had a hard time drafting today. In the first 2 rounds, did we take a single player that was worth it? Like where they're ranked compared to where I took them? I guess there was a guy we took at 50 and he was ranked 50, but like that was it. Normally the second round is where I take the super good, like top 5 talents, but today's been rough, man. Ooh, we could make up for that though. Richard Armstead. Never mind, he's slow. Okay, cool. The corners all suck. Is this another bad draft class? I see some players that look pretty good, like these 2 linebackers. Einstein, that's something. We could just take Cummings, I guess, but like he's not a scheme fit. That's the problem. I mean, he is, but like not for the rush end spot. Yeah, we'll take him. I don't see what else to do. Ranked 70. I've been really good at getting players that are super close to the value of where we're taking them. Definitely intentional. Definitely not trying to make great picks, just trying to make good ones. But okay, here's how we did in possibly the final draft of the rebuild. We'll see how we do this year, but Connor Flowers is pretty decent. He is what I thought he would be, a 77 overall. I do want to see how good that one receiver was though, because he could be really good. He could just be pretty good though. If he has like 99 spec catch or something, he could be like an 84 or 82 or something, but we'll see. I'll check him in a second, but Flowers is fine. Well, he's good. Not technically worth the pick, but close. I mean, he's worth it to us. But Luis Ruiz is a 74. Carson Cummings is a 73. And then I took every pick here. I've been doing that for this rebuild because the one time I simulated it out, the CPU picked like only 64s, so I'll pass on that. But Mark Quincy, the other blocking tight end we picked only had stars, so we'll see if Quincy is X factor. Did they I don't know, did they do something with draft classes? Because it feels different to me today. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just felt harder. I don't know, I felt like I was off my game with drafting. Like the best player we drafted was what, a 77? But let's see, there were quite a few 80 pluses in this class. Not really at positions I was looking at, but Jeremy Sapp did end up being an 81. He was the best player in the class, tied for it. 97 spec catch, yeah, that'll do it. Also 92 speed, that's interesting. Didn't he not have that good of a 40? I don't know, whatever. But there was also a really good safety, really good running back. Unfortunately, not positions we were looking for. Corner, not something we were looking for. Linebacker, not something we were looking for. There have been good players, just not at the positions we're looking for. But overall, pretty good draft. Like I said though, I do want to make a trade. I don't know who for, but I want to trade for someone. I think I know the position. But all right, we are going to be giving up a first and a third for Greg Rousseau. Now, I think Defensive Player of the Year, Greg Rousseau, he's a good player. I don't know about Defensive Player of the Year good, but he's good. I mean, oh, really? Yeah, I don't know if he should be doing that. Like, this game is so... Look at the difference from numbers in simulation compared to numbers in real life. I guess it looks like he's been playing more here, but still. I guess breakouts can happen, but it's just so interesting. But either way, we should have a monster pass rush duo now. It'll inevitably underperform compared to how good it should be, but either way, it should be better than what we've had, and that's really all we can ask. But all right, here's a look at the team heading into what is hopefully the final year. I mean, we should do well this year. We should. We're up to an 87, which might be the worst out of any of these teams we've rebuilt. I definitely didn't expect that. I wasn't sure if it would be the best. I thought it could be, because we started as an 80, but we just really didn't need to replace that many players, and the drafting wasn't that good, so I don't know. It's not like the team's bad. We're an 87. We have a 91 overall defense, only an 85 offense, so that means our offense will probably outplay our defense. But I mean, on paper, this defense is ridiculous. There's like not a single flaw with it, so if it isn't good, man, I don't know what to say. This might just be the last year anyways, because if we're not good this year, what are we gonna do? I guess just hope we get luckier next year and try to upgrade the offense. I don't know. This is probably the team I've rebuilt that resembles the real life team the most. I mean, this offense is almost just the Jags offense, just with a different center and a couple different receivers, and that's it. The defense is definitely different, but I mean, still 6 starters here are real life Jags players, so we've kept it pretty realistic. Bad drafting and all. But all right, let's just get straight to the end of the year. I'll get to the midseason just to make sure everything's going all right, but we will see how this team does. Okay, I think this has to be the final year. We have negative 50 mil in cap. cap. Okay, this is the final year no matter what. But okay, thankfully, here we are at the end of year number 4. And super quick, before I reveal how we did, if you haven't already, again, be sure to leave a like on the video, be sure to subscribe. Sounds stupid, but it really helps out the channel. And if you like rebuilds, that's literally all I do on the channel. Madden rebuilds, that's it. Some realistic, most goofy, a lot goofier than this. So yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know any fun ideas y'all have down in the comments. Or most importantly, what team I should do next in this series. Again, if I use your suggestion, I'll give you a shout out. But anyways, here's how the team is looking at the end of the year. Up to an 89 overall, 87 offense, 92 defense. It looks like Quincy does have X Factor at tight end, so I was wrong about the first one, but I was right about Quincy. I don't know why so many blocking tight ends have X Factor, but they do. We got pretty unlucky with drafting dev traits though. Flowers only has star at receiver, and then on defense, I guess we didn't really have many rookies get any playing time, but despite all that, despite not the best draft classes in the world, we still finished 14-3 in year number 4. Thankfully, because if we weren't gonna make the playoffs this year, we weren't gonna make them at all with negative 50 million cap. I guess I'll show that I didn't cheat because it seems convenient. I don't know. Ooh, I forced the home win in the bye week. Why does it show a home force win for the bye week? I've always wondered that. Why doesn't it just show none? That's weird. But man, we went on a massive win streak. We almost won 10 games in a row. We lost to the Bills in week 17, so we won 8 in a row. We only started 1-1 too. But let's check out our season stats. Trevor Lawrence, 3,900 yards, 39 touchdowns, only 8 picks, 74 completion percentage, only sacked 23 times this year. Travis Etienne, he's been steady around 4.3 per carry, but also steady around 1,300 yards, so we'll take it. 13 touchdowns. He's had almost the exact same stats every year. Like, very similar. About 1,250 to 1,330 for yards, and around 4.3 yards per carry, and 11 to 13 touchdowns every year, and 41 to 45 break tackles every year, or broken tackles. Like, he's consistent. But Brian Thomas Jr., almost 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns. He's having a monster start to his career. Back to back to back over 1,000 yard seasons, averaging about 1,100 a year through his first 4 years. But Jordan Addison, 800 yards, 14 touchdowns, not much outside of him. Blocking, Ezra Cleveland wasn't great, but the rest of the line held up really well. And I benched Jeff Kelly at the midseason because he had already allowed 4 sacks. I put in, who did I put in? Oh, Gil Crane, and he did much better. Also, Brandon Sheriff, 0 sacks again. But Foye Oluokun, 102 tackles, led the team. I think that was the first time he did. It's been Lloyd every year. But TFL's 17 for Russo, 10 for Hines Allen, and sacks. This defensive line was insane. 24.5 for Josh Hines Allen. I guess breaking the sack record in real life, but it's probably been broken 10 times over here because sack numbers are just way too high in this game. But 20 for Russo, a combined 44.5 sacks between just 2 players. I wonder what the record is in real life, and I wonder if it's within even 10 of that, because 44.5 is a really good number for a whole team, so that's crazy. But 8.5 sacks for Vita Vea. I mean, he kind of gets overshadowed, but that's still a monster year. That would be his best year in real life so far. Mason Smith, he's been kind of quiet for this rebuild, but, well, he's been getting a good amount of TFLs, actually. At least he did last year. But interceptions, 4 for Antonio Johnson. He's been really good, too, lately. I said I was going to move him to slot corner, because I do like him better there in real life, but, I mean, hey, if he works at safety, he works at safety. And after the first draft, we definitely didn't need another corner. But 2 picks for Devin Lloyd and Aaron Williams, and then 1 for a couple players. But yearly awards, MVP goes to Jalen Hurts. Trevor Lawrence not even up here. Damn. I thought he could be like top 5 or something. But also nobody up here for Offensive Player of the Year. Josh Hines Allen thankfully wins Defensive Player of the Year. We don't top 2 though. Greg Rousseau at number 3. Connor Flowers at 7 for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and nobody for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think we only had 1 rookie really even play this year, being Flowers. But hey, very good year. And I want to see, we're an 89 overall. Where does that rank in the league? I doubt we're the best, but we might be close. I bet the Chiefs are like a 91 or something, but no, they're only an 88. Wait, maybe we are the best. The Cowboys are only an 88. The 49ers, the Falcons have an 88. The Eagles are only an 88. So I think we do have, oh, the Steelers are tied with us. Okay, that's not usual, but there is 1 team tied with us. It's usually just either the Chiefs, Cowboys, or Eagles, or Ravens that we're competing with for overall, not the Steelers, but they're pretty good here. But hey, either way, we have tied for the highest overall, or we are tied for the highest overall team in the league. So we definitely deserve the first round bye. But let's see who we are going to be taking on for possibly the final game of the rebuild. In the divisional, it is going to be the Tennessee Titans. That's a team we like never face in franchise. That might be the worst team in simulation. I never see them do anything. Them and the Saints, I would say, are probably the two worst. But they're in the playoffs here. Now that I say that, the Saints are probably going to be in the playoffs too. No, they're not. Okay. But I mean, they beat the Steelers in the wild card somehow. The team that's tied with us for overall. But all right. It looks like we have a storyline. Defensive coordinator, it's going to say, do we have any matchup concerns? And then it's going to say no. And then it's just going to say, never mind. All right. The game just loves to prove me wrong. I've seen that. I've seen it not say defensive end like twice ever. Or I've seen it not say we don't have a matchup concern twice. And both times it's happened. It's happened right after I say it's always no matchup concerns. Like I just jinx it every time. I mean, not that it matters, but the game loves to prove me wrong. 99% of the time it just says no matchup concerns, but both times I say there won't be one, there is one. But Gil Crane, I guess we'll give him pass block power. I don't know. Their defensive tackle, who do they have? Oh, Tavondre Sweat. I was going to say, I'm surprised the game doesn't list Simmons as a defensive end, but it does. Sweat isn't that high of an overall here, though. Only an 85. I'm surprised that's a concern. I say that and he's going to get 5 sacks against us. But all right, let's simulate this game against the Titans, and can we get our first playoff win of the rebuild? We do, thankfully. What was the score? Is it going to tell me? It does. 21-17. We'll take it. Maybe shouldn't have even been that close, but I guess the Titans weren't horrible. I mean, they're an 86, but I mean, we're an 89 overall, and we're at home, and we went 14-3, so I don't know. Back to back, it actually has another position concern. Justin Madubuike for our right tackle? Okay. I'd probably be a little more concerned about the right guard, but maybe they moved Justin Madubuike to edge. I don't know. No, it said defensive end. Whatever. Maybe the Ravens are a 4-3 now. Who knows? But let's see if we can move on to our first Super Bowl of the rebuild. Would this be the first Super Bowl the Jags have ever been in? No, they haven't. Or yes, this would be the first they have ever been in if we win this game. So no pressure for the team. We deserve to win this game. Honestly, the Ravens stats this year weren't even that good. They had the 11th offense for points per game and 17th for points per game allowed. So they weren't even that good of a team. So we're probably going to lose to them. I mean, we deserve this. We're at home, better record, better overall. But let's see what happens against the Ravens. We do beat them just barely. 35-31, and we are going to be sending the Jaguars to their first ever Super Bowl. And it is going to be against the Green Bay Packers at an 88 overall. This is a losable game. Absolutely. They're 13-4. They're only 1 overall behind us at an 88. Maybe they went up throughout the playoffs, but I didn't notice them as an 88. Have things changed? Maybe. I know team overalls show up a little different when you're playing against them rather than when you're not. The 49ers also went up to an 89, so we're not the only ones anymore. Or well, I guess the Steelers also were, but whatever. There's a third one now. I'm a little surprised we didn't go up in overall throughout the playoffs, but whatever. We have a press conference here. Is this the one that gives you like +1 pass blocking or whatever for one player? Yeah, huge upgrade. But all right, we'll jump in and watch this simulate. This is the final game no matter what. So let's see if we can get the Jags their first ever Super Bowl win. It would be super disappointing if we didn't, but that's just the way it is sometimes. So let's simulate this game against the Packers, and can we win a Super Bowl? It looks like we take an early 3-0 lead, now 10-0 lead. They do finally get a touchdown. We're driving, we get a field goal. I wish that was a touchdown. We're driving again, and we come away with nothing. The Packers take the lead 14-3, but we take it right back. They tie us at 21. They're driving to make it 28-21. Our offense just completely collapsed towards the end. We just kept getting down there, but just couldn't score. I mean, 21 isn't horrible, but we should have easily had so much more. I love the ghost Gatorade they always dump on the coach. I used to complain about the Gatorade looking like sludge, and then they took it away. Man, we tried.